Oh, when you fuck up and then you just walk away like a
Oh
fucking
wow, look,
maniac.
there were a bunch of endings. Oh wow, I probably could have saved everyone.
Yeah, basically, like I'm looking at this shit, Snake, and all I'm seeing is that you failed to do anything new from the last time.
Do you know what they say, Noonam? Do you know what they say about lawyers and cops? Lawyers have months to go over decisions that I had seconds to make.
You're a piece of shit.
It's easy for you to say that from your ivory tower. You didn't have your boots on the ground. You weren't there.
You're the one with a PlayStation 4, Ivory Tower, motherfucker.
Come on, Zoe, let's go.
A robot shop. This robot shop looks so tacky.
It's like owning a robot, like owning an iPhone. Wow, that's pretty cheap.
$3,000.
And like considering inflation at this point, it's like pretty fucking cheap.
Yeah, this is probably like $30.
Oh, and you can get a pre-owned one?
How come I have a feeling it's gonna be that guy who looks like a shit? Starts fights at a truck stop. That's who we're gonna be bought by.
It would be so amazing if the seller was also an android.
Hey, how you doing? I'd be too self-conscious to be an android if this is how they had to sell me. Just on a display. You know what they should have done? They should have had me on a swivel display, so I just turn around slowly and then it comes back around and it just reveals. And this is the guy who's gonna buy you. And you just get this fucking Adonis right in front of you. I remember him. His name is Android Zone. No, his name isn't Android Zone, it's Todd. Are you in the Android Zone?
AX400, register your name. Kara.
Why would you like name it though?
He sounded so aggressive as he named it as well.
If you're an asshole, why would you name it? Like, I don't call my phone, which is like, it's like a weird thing where they're like, it's a phone, but it's also like human slaves, but they're robots, and that's what they're going for, but it's also a phone. And like, why would you name your phone? If you're an asshole. Like, that's
And
like,
he said Kara so dismissively as well. He was like angry about it. He wasn't like, oh good, I got a new robot. If you were gonna sound angry, you would just name it Robots.
if you were like, yeah, if you were just like a pessimistic fucking asshole, materialistic piece of shit, you just call it like an android or robot.
Just call it Bitchbot or Servo or fucking, I don't know, cleaning. Just cleaning, just the verb, cleaning.
So what happened in this universe that robots are so cheap?
I don't know. A lot of details don't stack up, obviously. But yeah, especially because this guy is presented, we're gonna see his house in a moment. Look, he's driving into the poor area now. He is a poor guy. I don't know why he has the money to buy an android. They probably go into it later. I mean, there's drugs in his house, so it might be implied he's dealing drugs.
It's not that inexpensive to own a robot when it's $3,000.
No, $3,000 would still. I would still pause before, like, especially because its function seems to be to cook and clean, which that's a heavy investment, especially considering you still have to buy cooking and cleaning materials. They don't cover all that. I'm just wondering, isn't this setting what really should have happened here is he should have got her on like a monthly rate, like, you know, pay $30 a month for your robot.
And end up paying $6,000.
Yeah, no, he gets scammed in the long run, but he thinks he's getting a good deal.
I don't think it's that improbable to own a $3,000 Android. And it doesn't even have to be $3,000. That was like one of the newer models. I think that was like $3,000.
Oh yeah, I think we're talking about us. We cost more than that. Also, I'm just wondering what is the difference between a high-end model and a low-end model? Are they just dumber, slower?
Appearance?
Appearance is
I
probably
don't know.
it, but that's oof. David Cage could have made some real racial allegories with that.
Yeah, there's like there's so many cool things to do, and David Cage is too fucking stupid to do any of it.
It's like, hey, this robot has a black skin tone. It's cheaper. It's like, ooh, Cage. Then now you're being a bit spicy. Bellini Paints is not this way.
I mean, David Cage can only do the racing through robots, adding like actual race stuff in
that
it.
was the point of doing
That's-
robots, so we could avoid any real race stuff.
That's too scary for me.
Cage. Oh, are we in fucking Japan? Nah, eat shit. Oh, I haven't had my emotional shock yet. I guess, yeah, it's just emotional shock just stops you from, like, you've got a bunch of arbitrary commands, like, you are not allowed to walk into the middle of the road. Oh, let's see if there's anything I can examine. Hey. It's good that I've got an Easter egg button. Androids ruin our country. We want jobs.
I'm still perplexed by the cheapness of the androids, and like, if we live in a world where androids are actually like $3,000, which okay, it's not inexpensive.
I mean,
but
I've
it
got
isn't
my
as
Android on a
expensive.
monthly rate.
Fuck off, Snake.
I should have got arrived at that joke far sooner than I did.
It's not inexpensive, but it's definitely not as expensive as you think. A fully like human-looking robot that walks around and is able to achieve sentience.
But that seems like a mistake, and they treat it as like we don't want them doing this. Also, can I just bring up my favorite bit of world building in this game, Noonan, that I remember? So this is a hot dog stand.
Yeah.
It's gonna take ages because I'm only allowed to move at this speed.
Well, they're not letting me run! It's the fucking man keeping the robots down.
This is a hot dog stand!
Oh, that's a way cooler hot dog stand.
I feel really bad for that guy over there. He's getting fucked by Ben's hot dogs.
Like, I can imagine David Cage coming up with this concept, like... Wait, was that coming from the hot dog stand?
No,
or
there's a
like
protest going on over
okay.
that way.
I was like, this hot dog stand is aggressively branding itself. Where do we want it? Hot dogs! No, that's the wrong way.
Android temporary parking.
What did they fucking piggyback ride the androids?
Hey, bud, you got room for me?
Oh, that's probably
it's
like...
a charge station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Though,
but I like your idea better than some people just get piggyback rides on their androids and just leave them in parking. Also, 4-to-1 station seems really, really uneconomical.
This is supposed to be in base 7.
I mean, it feels like they want everyone to have an android, but it's like, I'm confused mostly. Like, I will never get over the fact that these androids are that inexpensive.
Whoa, the camera just did something to me then.
Because, like, realistically, Snake, both of us could own an android.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, okay, like, $3,000. Okay, you probably don't own anything that's that expensive, maybe, do you?
No, not individually.
Yeah, but you could probably own an android, right?
I mean, yeah, I'd need to do I'd weigh that up. Real talk, I probably wouldn't go for an android, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I'm thinking about it.
Like, that's the breakdown of it, right? It's like, what do? Like, this guy uses his to go and buy paint for him. Unless I'm, like, really feeble, I would not need that. Oh, and look, it's got access to your bank. You can just ID you and, hey, that's how you do your purchases.
Like, like, I wouldn't make an android, like, buy stuff for me, but, like, there's a lot of things I could need help with, you know? Like, what if I need a camera guy?
Hey, the shop assistant's an android too. Great. I also never worked out what the colors on their heads mean. Like, they tend to be blue most of the time, but it went yellow then. I think when you have an emotional shock, it changes color again. But, yeah. I don't know what they're for. I assumed it was
Maybe
like
it's
a
just
Wi-Fi.
processing something.
I assumed it was like a signal so you could be tracked. Or just to just as a giveaway, obviously. Like, hey,
Well, right now it changed because there was like a transaction happening, right?
Yeah, that's what I presume anyway.
So I imagine like on your Android phone, Snick, if you would look at it, there's like the top bar, it like lights up when you have a message or something. It's something like that. When your Android has like 500 unread messages, pretty yikes.
Also, we're about to go and walk through some robo-racists for fun. Let's go get picked on, because we're part of the problem.
If you like beat up an Android, is that like property damage?
That's a question. That is a question, isn't it? Is that assault or is that...
No, it's property damage in this universe, obviously.
Look, you going, Tin Can?
Hey, you want jobs, not androids, then don't buy one.
Can, like, the owner of the Android sue you for being a shit for his, like, stuff?
Look at this little motherfucker.
You steal our jobs. We used to go and buy paint. You should have just confessed, I'm actually a NEET.
Actually, I'm just cosplaying as an android.
Come on. I am a stay-at-home robot. I am a house husband.
We're gonna fuck your bitch ass up. Yeah, waste it.
Do it.
Is there real much point to just threatening an emotionless robot? I guess that's just for your own sake.
Alone. Let us teach this.
I mean, I guess I kind of get it because like, humans would do something like this, but also, how dumb are these fucking assholes to realize that the reason why everyone lost their job is because humans made these androids to take away your jobs, and then they didn't give you a universal, like, income for it. That's something the humans fucking decided to fuck you over with, and now you're here boating up robots.
I'm a droid. Ah. But anyway, fucking... The unemployment rate in this game is 30%, if I'm remembering right. 30% is ridiculous. 30% is worse than this. 35%! Thank you.
35% employment, and it's like a couple of dudes.
Like, 35% unemployment is catastrophic, not people go out and protest this calmly. And I say that because that was relatively calm. That was tiny. Also, are you ready for it? Are you ready? The androids. Guess what? The androids, they're in the back of the bus.
Fuck off, David Cage, you're a motherfucker.
I mean, honestly, it only makes sense, to be honest. They don't need to sit down.
All of the fucking, like, allegories and, like, what they're saying is just, like, it falls in deaf ears because, like, these are... I can say this because androids don't exist, but when you equate fucking human, like, stuff that real humans have gone through with your fucking fantasy robots that some reason cost $3,000 when they should cost probably like $1 million in each is ridiculous.
I'm just thinking about it. If you really want to twist this around into something David Cage definitely wasn't saying, you could therefore say that David Cage thinks black people weren't people. Until a certain point. If you want, that's not what David Cage was trying to say, but it's so easy to just make it look like that's what he's going for.
But the thing is, though, you can make, like, a robot oppression story and not have it be, like, this fucking tone deaf. People have been making them for decades, for centuries at this point.
You know what? It's good, though. This is so much better than Beyond Two Souls. There's actually stuff to say. Not good stuff, but stuff.
You coming?
No, I'm gonna analyze your street, see if there's any side content. Wait for me, Todd. Nope, your street is boring as you are, boy. Wait, what's that? It's a highway. Wow. That's a fucking high highway.
No, I can see them owning an android.
You've been gone for
Yeah, no, this guy, he can totally afford an android. He's probably rich as fuck, but just lives in this crap house to have an android. Daddy, can we move to better apartments? No. I want an android.
Alice!
I want to hump this android. Every night, Alice.
I think, fortunately, that's not the direction we're going in.
Ever since your mom left.
Your mum was named Kara.
That's why I named the android Kara, Alice. So I can take out my rage against an android and... God.
So now this is a David Cage game. It
lost
has
the plot.
optional objectives. Collect dishes, activate vacuum cleaner, check the backyard.
Oh, good. We get to partake in the slavery.
Yeah, I love it. Alright. Scan. You just open it. Oh, so this is really terrifying, okay? She just ordered a spare component on his behalf. I don't think this game gets enough shit for the fact that she just has his bank details and can just take money from him to fix stuff. He probably knew it was broken but hasn't done it for a reason. He's probably overdrafted his credit card getting Kara, and she's just immediately put him...
I mean, he already owned Kara, though. Like, he sent her in for repairs.
Was that... No. He destroyed... The last one was destroyed in an accident. She's the new one. This is her first time here.
Maybe they got her on an insurance then?
I mean, I'm just wondering, it could have been so easy to justify this away as robots for the poor, which I know sounds weird, but it's just like, you know, a scheme to, like, get these people a little extra helping hand.
No, Snake, let me fuck your mind right now. They owned a robot. Then the wife, I don't know, dies or goes away. Probably dies, because it's David Cage.
And he uses her life insurance for a robot.
Oh, no. They probably had the robot before then. The wife dies or whatever, or like even before that. Maybe the life insurance, but also the robot comes, dad loses his job and gets a shittier job, but since they already had the robot and probably insurance on the robot a little bit, when it blows up, they can just still have a robot.
It's not very nice out. You might catch cold.
No, I'm seeing it. I was just thinking about what I was just trying to think about how to befriend this little girl. Also, I was just thinking, to show she's a robot, when I said weather, I was really hoping she said, you know, there's a 60% chance of precipitation.
Nah, but there's no thought put into how they're robots. It's just like very vague.
Yeah,
and like
they don't really come off as,
like,
ironically, because it's written by David Cage, they don't come off as any less human than anyone else. You can tell they're an android because they have that shit on them. They all have to wear these futuristic, minimal android clothes.
Oh, but maybe, Snake.
But maybe.
That is the point all along.
Oh, wow.
That they aren't so different than you and I.
But Connor is
still
different. Also, I apparently heard, I don't know if it's true, but Connor's arc was primarily handled by someone who wasn't David Cage. I have no idea if that's true. I'm gonna have to look that up before we stream again.
Yeah, well, that's something that we like talked about before, is that apparently in the next David Cage game, which is the current David Cage game, is that he got more writers to work on it.
Unless you want to piss me off.
You know, it really seems like robots should just, by standard, have a don't snitch policy built into them. Or exactly the opposite, I guess.
Yeah, probably the opposite.
It shouldn't be a case of him walking up to her and saying, hey, you don't say nothing. It should be a case of she sees the drugs and the police already fucking know.
It's just like, this is a very like weird like thing where I don't like, if androids do exist, I feel like
the police would be watching through their eyes. They would be gathering data like no one's business.
This motherfucker here is gathering so much data and selling it at the highest bidder. And... Bitter?
The highest bidder. It's very bitter knowledge.
I'm so bitter.
And I'm not
like-
dealing with a little girl. I've got to wash the plates. This is grubby as sin.
These fucking androids are shit, dude. These androids are shit, dude. If real life androids existed, we would own. We would probably just own their license at that point. We probably wouldn't even really own them. And if you like destroyed your robot, you'd probably get fined as hell.
If David Cage had fought this universe through, these robots would have been sold at a cheap price, and then you buy AI for them. It's like, hey, dishwashing protocol. That's where they get you. It's when you got to start buying those extras. I'm not going to do the dishes.
Loot box fucking stuff for your android. Look at this. I got a new hat.
Hey, guess what? For this week, your robot will, for free, learn the hand job routine. We'll take it away at the end of the week. Then you'll have to pay. That's how they get you.
And you've ran out of a lot of time for your android to walk around, so you either gotta pay you gotta pay like a $5 at least for your android to be able to walk for another hour.
Oh, that's good. No, seriously, they really got to get you on this stuff. You've got to... Crying out loud. Motion controls. I'm fucking... Really? What am I doing? Help me. I'm doing stuff. I'm violently shaking my controller.
You're not. I think you're supposed to rotate
But
it.
I did. That's the first thing I did. Oh, God. Now we've got to use the touchpad.
How does the touchpad feel, Snake?
Crap. Really?
Imagine David Cage like finding out that the console has like a different controller and like a bunch of other gimmicks, and you're like, "Ooh, I can put this in my video game."
Alice likes us more because we did the dishes. Our relationship value has increased. You know what? Let's see if we can go upstairs before we deal with the trash. I want to get in on this house fully. Come on. I was rubbing it for like a full 2 seconds before it picked up on me.
This is like sensor somewhere like. Does the PlayStation 4 even have a sensor?
I guess. It's got 6
Where is
axis
it?
and stuff. It's in the light.
It's in the console, isn't it? Where's the console? Maybe it's at an awkward angle.
Should I bring Todd a beer? That seems like
Nah.
a him problem.
Yeah, that really is a him problem.
Ah, damn it! Can't go upstairs yet. I've got to get him that damn beer. I'm gonna...
Give me that fucking stupid beer, you motherfucker. That's a nice fridge.
Yeah.
You see, I don't think they're that poor.
You
I
think it's
they
just a
live-
crappy house, but they're spending their money elsewhere.
No, I think that it's just infeasible to move at this. Like, the economy and how it works is like
That's a curved
Unclear.
TV.
the economy and how it works is unclear. But it could be that it's just like improbable to fuck. Oh my god, dude! Chill.
I just want to watch hockey. I fucking love hockey. I
just
want to
watch this 20 frame per second hockey.
I'm gonna just watch it from over his shoulder where he can't see me.
Look at the frame rate on that hockey show. It's kind of shit, isn't it?
It's not great. Honestly, what Sony should have done is they should have had, like, NHL hockey game on the screen right here and cross-promote. But they're not
They
smart
don't-
like me.
They don't elaborate on the economic situation of this world, which makes me think that David Cage just doesn't understand an economy.
No.
Which is probably true, because he's probably a rich asshole.
I mean, I don't even think it's that. I just think David Cage would feel that real details would bog things down when you need a certain level of details to ground the fucking reality of the world so people understand why things are the way they are. But then you get into this dodgy situation where I think David Cage didn't feel confident that if he tried to explain this world in any way, people might end up siding with people. Because he might
Yeah,
have
'Cause
messed
the
it
whole-
up.
the whole idea is to make androids
Sympathetic.
they're just very sympathetic, and you could make them sympathetic by not like convoluting your entire narrative, because it already is convoluted. Because you're just like, I'm stretching over backwards to fucking understand what the fuck is going on, and I'm not even like thinking about the plot of the game. I'm just thinking about the logistics of this fucking world. That just doesn't make any sense.
It's really strange, because if you think about it, this is the first time David Cage has ever tried... Okay, second time he's ever tried speculative fiction. Where it's like, here's what the world could be.
What's the first time?
Omicron, but that was like weird virtual otherworld, so I don't even know if it would count, because that was like computer world. So you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted. But this is speculative future fiction.
I guess it's speculative fiction, but it's just like very the most fucking vaguest attempt at it.
Well, that's
like,
that's kind of what I want to bring up, because Beyond had the whole afterlife thing, but it did not understand what it was doing with it. It didn't explain the reality of the world. So then what does that mean when David Cage has to then come up with a whole world? Also, why is every fucking book in this world now a tablet, a preloaded preset tablet? That is not economical.
what?
Android pitching, they have Android sports, they have the Android League.
I'm just, you know what? Actually, I don't think it's that weird for every like paper and like book and like magazine to be a tablet if the Android, bless you,
Thank you.
if the Android is like,
Oh god.
if Androids cost, don't die, cost anywhere from fucking like $2,000 to $3,000. I don't think it's that improbable, because like if the Androids are that cheap, which are,
Noonan, have you not caught
look
on to the big fucking thing on this page?
fuck off. 2018 and 2040 or whatever this game takes place. It's not that
that's
far
not what
away.
I
We're
did.
gonna live there. We're gonna live all the way to that year, Snake. Unfortunately, and the idea of the mechanics of like, look at what this android is doing. As a human, I can barely like fucking function and understand how I move. This is not improbable. So the idea of these like things existing, I don't care. Are you reading this? Are you reading this?
I'm
shit?
actually not, but my LP muscles are kicking in and I want the viewer to get as much as possible. Alright, let's report to old Toddy boy.
Anyway, I don't think they're lower class, but also I don't think they're that poor to not like.
Start down here.
And he's also a drug dealer, so maybe like living in like a more affluent neighborhood is probably not that great for him.
Oh, true. Yeah, Todd makes some degree of sense. Even though I
also,
don't...
this game sucks.
Yeah, just gotta get in on that. Credit card application form, invoice. I want to see that invoice. I want more detail on that invoice. Oh, of course, they blocked the actual amount of money. Oh, he got rejected for a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
He's due 347. Yeah, he's not doing so grand. Also, look, these are fucking papers and they're fucking electronic. Anyway, let's go. Let's go upstairs.